everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features the top-scoring pass offense in the NFL. The Texans are top 10 in passing TDs, and they go up against a Colts defense that will need to be on its game.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Now a first down throw. Luck. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Oliver. And down he'll go at the 25. That throw good for 4. It's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
He gets it to Brown, complete. They give him a gain of 37.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston that he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. Following the penalty, it's Johnson trying to run inside, but nothing there. Throwing on third down. Luck. Over the middle here to Brown. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down. So first possession, fourth and short. Field goal's no gimme from here. What do you think about going for it?
I'm not just thinking about it. I'm signaling, go for it. Let's get this, all right? Yeah, look, you're right. You know, the field goal's there, but it's not a chip shot. My big thing is opening drive. You're trying to establish momentum. Let's not stall it ourselves. Let's go get this first down and then continue on downfield and try and get a touchdown.
Like your confidence.
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
They get 3 there on the pickup, and the Colts are going to have a first. Here's Luck. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 28. Here we go with 2nd and 7. Throwing is Luck. The swing pass caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. First down, Watson. He's got it complete to Braxton Miller. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you got to stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
This is Miller. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Watson on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Let's go!
They will indeed snap it to Watson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. It's a gain of 21 that time. And it'll give the Texans a first down. Watson looks to throw again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Well, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Steps away to his left. Finding room at the 30. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 35. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain. Fresh set of downs here. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Back to throw, Love. Screen play, Johnson. Room to run inside the 40. David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Indianapolis. David Johnson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Here we go.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
Forced out to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Second down, 9 yards to go.
Ohio! Ohio! Let's go! Ohio! Ohio! Let's go!
A shotgun snap for Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deeper. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Out of the gun, Watson. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Returnable for Lockett. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Locke. Buying time to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Now Locke being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Luck showing he can be dangerous when he tucks it and runs. He's able to pick up the first down.
How about that scramble by Andrew Luck? Sometimes we forget just how big, strong, and, yes, fast Andrew Luck is. When he came out of college at the Combine, shocked everyone, ran a sub-4 840.
And he grew up a big size. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Bernardrick McKinney in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Here's Luck now on second down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. A shotgun snap for Luck. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing again is Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Texans cut into that lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
On first down, Luck. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
On second down, here's Luck. Throw left side complete. It's Oliver. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll make it 3rd and 1. From the gun, here's Luck. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They go to Johnson again. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. That good for 22 and a first down.
That looked like a two-deep coverage, which we call cover two. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Luck on first down. Dumping it off for Johnson. Touchdown, Indianapolis. David Johnson, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Colts add on to their lead. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Here we go! Ohio! Ohio!
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Watson on first down. This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Second down, here's Watson. Completion left side to Miller. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now a play fake here on first down. On the move to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and this shows on the scoreboard.
On second down, here's Miller. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing on third down, Watson. Dancing to his left. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Back to throw, Watson. Completes it to Miller. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And Frank's kick is good. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. This is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's a give to Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They'll run it again with Miller. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now it's the backup Gabbard. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Antonio Brown, 76 yards. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Throwing again. Gabbard on 2nd and 10. Try to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, If you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? They'll toss it to Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Black 42.
Yeah, the defense definitely showing blitz here. Again, it's Miller. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And the pitch goes to Miller. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On play action, Gabbert. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Gabbert steps away to his left. And finding Fedorowicz. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. From the red zone now, Gabbert out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Gabbert now forced out to his left. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 14. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Buying time to his left. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. There's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
To throw on second down is Locke. Now a hit, and Locke lost the football. It's out. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Throwing on third down, Locke. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down. The Colts send out their punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, good move. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Fielded about a yard deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
On 1st and 10, Gabbert. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. First down, Gabbert. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Miller. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And he'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. On 3rd and 1, here's Gabbard. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
And they'll run for it with Miller. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to get.
Tight dog.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. On 1st down, it's locked. Screen play, Johnson. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, but sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Vinatieri now on to try the field goal for the Colts. This is a 49-yard attempt. Right hash. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And he is knocked down from the side at the 23. And now out comes Houston. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Gabbard being chased out left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. The Texans on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. So the D-line's going to spread out. Gabbert. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
After the interception, it's Love. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Oliver. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with a bigger target.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. They go play action. Gabbert in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that, and the ball that you throw has to get back to at least...
It got his man complete, and he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard, right near midfield. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Four yards remaining now on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Gabbert now to throw on first down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. They'll run it now out of the gun. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Colts going on 4th. It's Luck. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they will take a knee here. The Colts on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. So Luck down to a knee. Be the final act of this ball game.